broadcast, the big losers, the ones who thought they'd do much better, but in the end fell short.
इस कर्म भूमि को मेरा शत शत प्रणाम।
In one of the highest stakes battles of our times, there were always going to be some very prominent losers. Those who either simply sank their parties in the cold waters of defeat, or others who threw everything they could at the fight and still lost.
आदरणीय दीदी, ओ दीदी।
From fights for survival to fights to establish prowess, many stars have been waylaid by the voters this time. Here's our pick of the biggest losers in State of War 2021. Perhaps the biggest loser, Congress heir apparent and Kerala MP Rahul Gandhi's viral leap into the Arabian Sea has become the supreme metaphor for the Congress party. Sunk, wet, and with no real splash. Once again reminding voters of his periodic enthusiasm and zero consistency. A Twitter warrior doesn't necessarily mean poll battle hardened general. He consciously stayed away from campaigning too much in Bengal and then pulled out to make a good point about COVID norms, something he has run with and built on lately. But the Congress was still completely wiped out in Bengal, routed in Assam, and failed to exploit anti-incumbency faced by Pinarayi Vijayan in Kerala. Rahul Gandhi's paradox alliance with the left, partners in Bengal and sworn enemies in Kerala and Tamil Nadu didn't impress voters, and his party was soundly punished. Arguably the biggest poll machinery in India's election history, run by the Bharatiya Janata Party, truly ran into the big wall of Mamata Banerjee. Prime Minister Modi and his trusted Lieutenant Amit Shah threw everything at this election in Bengal, but still couldn't back it all up with a big election victory. The BJP's all-star team laid siege for Bengal but could not break Didi's rank and file. While the BJP isn't strictly a loser here, having won a large number of seats compared to what they had in hand, they fell well short of their intentions, especially with the huge number of high-profile Modi Shah rallies and roadshows. The impressive gains were still woefully short from their big vision of Sonar Bangla. Bengal gave a clear message of Khela Shesh for the Modi-Shah juggernaut. Down south, the BJP's alliance with the AIADMK couldn't deliver an encore, and Kerala remains a political wilderness for the Saffron Brigade. An alliance doomed from the start, conflicting priorities of the left and the Congress in different states has ensured that there was no cohesive poll strategy. The partners were completely obliterated in Bengal. The Furfura Cleric Alliance briefly lit up TV screens but backfired, and Muslims shifted en masse to the Trinamool. Their vote bank split equally between the BJP and the Trinamool. And the final loser on our list is the second Congress scion, Rahul's sister, Priyanka. Perceptions of her being the more bankable Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi in the poll battleground has flattered to deceive. marginal returns on her high-profile Assam campaign, Priyanka's on and off politicking strategy had no takers, and she is unable to lift that part-time politician tag clearly. 2021 Assembly elections was a mega test of political fortunes by fire, and the losers on our list have been singed by the results and have a generous helping of introspection on their hands. Bureau Report, India Today.